Thanks for spending your Friday afternoon with 2K Sports and the NBA. Brian Anderson here, joined by Grant Hill, Tim Legler, and our reporter, Allie LaForce. Here's a look at the schedule for the Oklahoma City Thunder. On Saturday, they'll face off against Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. Then on Monday, they'll take on Kyrie Irving and the Dallas Mavericks.
In that game against the Kings, that's going to be their 6th contest on the year. Fans will be curious to see how this team continues to form as the season goes on.
Let's take a look at our starters for Atlanta. Johnson and Porzingis, they're inside. Trae is flanked by Daniels in the backcourt, and it's Risache in at small forward. And for the Thunder, 2 big bodies inside with Holmgren and Hartenstein in the middle. Gilgeous-Alexander runs the point with Dort at the 2, and it's Williams in at the 3. It'll be the Thunder off the tip. At this early stage of the season, what do you think are the most important things for teams to focus on, Lex?
Well, I think familiarity with new teammates. So you're trying to find that rhythm and flow on both ends of the floor. There's no substitute for real in-game reps, which they're getting now. And ideally, if you can win some games early, it builds confidence.
Here's Johnson following the bucket by the Thunder. 4 on the clock. Daniels. That 3's off the mark. And here's SGA. He'll bring it up for Oklahoma City. Here's the teardrop, and it's good on the lay-in.
That's great footwork and great ball control. It feels like Shea can go wherever he wants on the court.
And, Tim, to have the success that SGA has had, is there something different to his approach?
Well, B.A., I just think he's so shifty, so quick in changing directions, and he can decelerate once he gets into the paint. That change of pace makes it very difficult to stop, and it's the reason he's the perennial league leader in drives to the rim.
Shout out Canada, too, eh?
Of the North.
Perfect night so far, 2 for 2.
Well, that bucket from SGA just shows you a lot of grit.
A moment to hear from Allie LaForce.
A bit ago, Mark Dagnall and I were able to chat. The developing game of Trae Young is something that Coach discussed with his players. Coach said he's been one of the league's assist leaders. Don't get so consumed trying to stop him that you give him the easy passes inside. They know the danger that Young possesses. We'll see if they can contain him here. Brian, back to you.
Good job there, Allie. Thanks. Now, here's Williams. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. 3 shots, 3 baskets. Great efficiency so far.
And the D can't allow Gilgeous-Alexander to get this positioning, because once he does, he makes you pay.
Johnson a screen on Williams. The 3 from Risache. Hartenstein pulls it in. The Thunder have gone 4 of 4 from the floor. Perfect start. Dort for 3. Drains the triple.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
Outside Johnson. Porzingis with a screen on Holmgren. Johnson for 3. Hartenstein pulls it in. And it's Thunder's ball. They're on an 11-2 run. Williams finds Dort. And here's SGA. And stolen by Porzingis. Young, the pass to Johnson. Shoots over Holmgren. The shot by Johnson, no good. Thunder leading by 9. Dort outside. Outside, Williams. 3-pointer. The rebound by Atlanta. Pass to Young. Over Gilgeous-Alexander. No good, a bit long that time. And here's Gilgeous-Alexander. He'll bring it up for the Thunder. Williams misses. Things just don't seem to be clicking for them offensively.
Yeah, they really need to find a way to get back on track.
SGA looking around. Here's the 3. Can't hit that one. And so it's Oklahoma City with a 9-point cushion at the end of the quarter. Getting lots of great looks, shooting it well. That's why they're up. We'll be right back after this word. Great to have you with us. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Thunder.
Well, hey, guys, I mean, can we talk about how unselfish they've been? Just racking up the assist numbers, moving it around with great precision.
And you can't overlook what they've done in the paint as well. A huge part of their success in this one.
Wallace and Williams run the wings. Jalen Williams out there with Aaron Wiggins. And it's Caruso in at the one. That's the lineup out there for the Thunder. Tim, you look at Cason Wallace. He has been a plug-and-play defensive guard in this league.
Well, B.A., you're talking about a guy who wants to pick you up full court every minute he's on the floor. He is just tireless and relentless on the defensive end. He's the kind of player every coach wants to have. Regardless of his minutes, he makes the impact defensively.
I've heard you say it before. The fastest way to minutes, if you're a young guy, is on the defensive end.
Coaches are taking notice of that want-to factor.
Drops in the three. Caruso's gotten himself going with a triple, his first basket of the game. And so the timeout by Quinn Snyder here. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. Gilgeous-Alexander's checked in for Wiggins. Atlanta also making some changes. Risache, he's checked in for Krejci. Dyson Daniels comes in for Alexander Walker. And it's Young in for Kennard. Here's Young, still without a bucket. Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. Pass to Newell, clock at 6. Three-pointer off the mark. Thunder leading by 11. Here's Williams. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. Legs, you look at Jalen Williams coming out of college. Early doubts about his athletic ceiling proving unfounded.
No question about it. There were limitations placed on him as an athlete because he's got a fairly unique build if you think about it. Really long arms and barrel-chested, but his agility really opening eyes.
Well, and you can never underestimate the heart, and he plays with a lot of it.
Absolutely.
Well, we have a chance to hear from Shams Charania. He's calling in right now. Shams, great to have you on, bud.
Thanks. Well, this new three-point era started with Stephen Curry, and it's really in the last decade that we're seeing the long-distance game extend to the center position. You look at the list of recent champions, it seems it's also not a luxury, but a necessity to have a paint presence who can also stretch the floor from deep.
A nightmare to contain. All right, Shams, appreciate the report. Quickly becoming one of the most feared defenders in the game, Tim. Dyson Daniels.
Well, the numbers speak for themselves, Brian. Daniels is always engaged. Every second he's on the court, and he's right there lurking for a deflection or a steal.
First free throw is good. Well, when you look at the upside for this young Hawks team, Tim, how good can they be?
I think they could be one of the surprises in the Eastern Conference. They've got an emerging star in Jalen Johnson, one of the best defensive players in the league, in Dyson Daniels. And both of those guys, I think, haven't even come close to scratching the surface.
And both players, high-level work ethic, talent, and guys who want to get after it every day. No good on the second free throw. How about Dyson Daniels, Grant? Last season, leading the league in steals.
Well, averaging over 3 a game. That mark hadn't been met in over 3 decades, B.A. In the process, the Aussie earning the nickname, the Great Barrier Thief. Not bad.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Thank you. The Thunder are a powerhouse without possessing a bunch of big-name stars. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander said the front office does a good job of picking players to be a part of the organization, and Coach Mark Daigneault said our job as a team is for the whole to be better than the sum of the parts. Back to you.
Okay, thanks for the report, Allie. Now, here's Williams. This is the most they've led, 13 points. And here's SGA. Had a career game his last time out. Bucket after bucket. Holmgren using that length inside.
It's so difficult to defend Holmgren inside. For such a young player, his body control and awareness are off the charts.
Okongwu finds Young with the drive. Oh, and makes it with the kiss.
Oh, what a steady presence offensively and a very difficult player to game plan for.
And SGA has got the ball here for Oklahoma City. Impressive finish by Gilgeous-Alexander.
More points coming from inside. In that respect, they've been the more aggressive team.
Good ball movement here by Atlanta. Johnson a screen on Williams. Back to Johnson. Oh, and Johnson slams it in.
Well, he is a very mobile 6'9" wing, and Johnson is showing you he's a perfect pick-and-roll partner.
Gilgeous-Alexander against Young. Dort outside. Lets it go from deep. Shot's good. SGA making the play. SGA's got 3 assists in the game.
You like how their perimeter game is building out. They're feeling it right now.
Here's Young. Okongwu, a screen on Gilgeous-Alexander. That is Trey's shot. The 3.
Oh, you gotta love the back and forth, showing real confidence at the arc.
And when you give up a 3, there's always this instinct to try and get it back immediately.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder in a good situation, up by 13 points to close the quarter. How about the way they've attacked the paint? This throwback approach is paying off. And Allie LaForce has something for us on the sidelines. Hey, Allie.
Coach Quinn Snyder with us now, and Coach, a bit of a lull for this team scoring the ball. Why?
It had nothing to do with anything other than us being aggressive. We're like walking the ball up the court. Whoever's got it, we've got to attack.
At least effort is something you can control. Thank you, Coach.
All right, good stuff, Allie. And we'll get back to the action at the start of the third quarter.
Hello, everybody. Maybe a bit of a surprise in this one, but what a fantastic first half we witnessed for the Oklahoma City Thunder.
They've made it look simple. Well-designed game plan, and the execution has been near flawless.
Yeah, that locker room is feeling good right now, I'll tell you that.
All right, let's switch it over. See what the fans are posting on social media. And we got a question here from Christo at Point. Between Kenny and Shaq, who's the best at playing 2K?
Oh, it's got to be me, Ernie. Come on. Shaq's hands are too big for the controller.
See, that's what your mistake is, my guy. I don't even need a controller, Kenny. I'm in the game. I can program it from the inside.
So basically, you're saying you're going to cheat. Yeah, okay. That disqualifies you right there.
Well, Christo, I bet that's not the answer you were expecting. And that'll do it for us. Thanks for stopping by. We'll head back down to Brian Anderson and crew for the start of the third quarter.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. You know, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been exceptional here, guys.
He's been on the attack, playing hard and going right to the rim.
Nothing in this league more difficult to defend than a well-timed weak side cut.
Here's Young. And the Hawks looking at who they've got. Shai at the 3, Johnson at the 4. Trey is flanked by Daniels in the backcourt. And it's Porzingis in at the center position, locking down the middle.
Well, that's one thing about Trae Young. He has never seen a 3 he didn't like.
Tim, you look at his career rate of assists per game. Trae Young, one of the most prolific passers ever to lace him up.
Yeah, B.A., despite the fact that he's known for shot making, it's his vision that sets him apart, and it's the reason you want the ball in his hands.
And Atlanta with possession here. The Thunder making their last shot. And it's Holmgren with a rebound. Holmgren's got 4 rebounds in the game.
You have to credit their effort. I mean, they've done an amazing job on the glass.
Outside Young from the arc. The Thunder with the rebound. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 4 rebounds now. And if you're just joining us, we've played just over a minute here in the third. The jump hook, and it's Oklahoma City with another.
Well, they're winning this game in large part due to how efficient he's been, and it's why they'll continue to go to him.
And so the timeout by Quinn Snyder here. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments. Well, Legs, the last few years, big men have been owning the MVP discussion. Now, enter SGA.
Yeah, and BA, this is the scariest part. SGA has room to grow. The guy is still in his mid-20s and is arguably the best player in the game.
And with this pause, a check on the stats to show you which teams led the league in assists last year. Atlanta, second.
Well, this is a team that preaches ball movement. Just look at their assist totals from last season. They are determined to create high percentage shots.
Oklahoma City on D. To the middle. Here's Risache. Count the bucket. Coming off a perfectly placed pass. Risache's got his first points in this one. Outside Gilgeous-Alexander. Up top Holmgren. Covered by Johnson. The teardrop. Ooh, the toughness of Holmgren.
I like the way they've established their offense to start the half. 3 straight makes.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Thanks a lot, Brian. Trae Young is getting recognition for his playmaking. He said, I've been top 5 in assists since I've been in this league, but I've been able to score so easily. People consider that selfish at times. I'm not even worrying about what people got to say. I know what I do. Brian, back over to you.
Tuning out the noise. All right, Allie, appreciate the report. And Tim, 1 year, you shot over 50% from the field and from three-point range, not to mention over 80% from the free throw line. You think we'll ever see that again?
Well, Brian, I think the 50% from the 3 could be more difficult because the volume is now so high. I'm not sure they're as selective in their shot attempts, which means your percentages naturally come down a bit.
So 3 for 6 is not going to be an option for a great shooter?
Don't think so. 3 for 6 is usually the first quarter for a lot of these guys.
Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. 12 points for him. And the foul called on Dyson Daniels. That's his first foul. Oklahoma City making a switch here. Wallace is checked in. And a change for the Hawks. Alexander Walker, he's checked in for Young. 58 seconds left to play in the third quarter here. To the paint. Here's Holmgren. And the big finish by Holmgren.
And you know, as a roller, Holmgren shows great hands, and he makes nice adjustments moving downhill.
Daniels outside. Inside. Dort with a steal. Outside. Williams. Gilgeous-Alexander passes to Wallace. It's Dort on the wing. Shot clock at 6. Three-pointer. Porzingis grabs the board. Daniels with it. Down low. It's good! It's good at the buzzer! Wow!
Great job ending the quarter on a high note.
That's just a great play on his part with the clock winding down.
And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, a sizable lead of 14 at the break. Their defensive efforts have paid off, effectively shutting down the opposing offense. We'll be back in a moment. And let's take this opportunity to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
You can count on him to deliver a few assists like this one each and every night.
I just love the way he plays. He does a great job of making everyone around him better.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may already be out of hand. Wallace and Williams run the wings. Aaron Wiggins out there with Jalen Williams. And it's Caruso in at the 1. That's the lineup for Oklahoma City. Williams with the screen. Wallace misses. Hawks trail by 14. And they're going to count that bucket, and they'll send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
After a brutal first half from the field, their shots are finally starting to fall.
All right, guys, what do you think so far about the offensive approach for the Thunder?
They've been all about high percentage looks in this game, working the ball inside and doing whatever it takes to get it to go.
And the mid-range shot has been there for them over and over. They continue to capitalize on it. Let's see if they keep going back to it.
And despite their historic regular season success, OKC still had their doubters around the league, Grant.
Yeah, BA, and it was verging on disrespect if you ask me. But youth and inexperience counted against them. Now, they knew their true test would come in the playoffs, and they passed it with flying colors, taking home the championship.
Now here's Young. The 3. Williams grabs the board.
Well, if you take low percentage shots, you are going to have difficulty making them.
Wiggins, no good. Hawks trail by 11. Outside, Alexander Walker. Now Young. There's a screen. Williams rips down the board.
Well, this has been far from his best game, and if they're going to come back here, he's got to find a way to get going.
Outside Williams. Let's loose for 3. Can't get it to go. The Hawks have gotten just 1 shot to fall out of 3 attempts in the fourth. Young fires. Ooh, it misses.
I know he's on a cold streak, but he can't let that get in his head.
If he can just make a couple of buckets, though, this can all be put in his rearview mirror.
Outside Williams. Williams outside. He's off from 3.
It's just not his night from the 3. But this is exactly why you can't live and die by that shot.
Young outside. And there's 1:38 left in the fourth quarter. Fires the 3. Williams rips down the board. Thunder leading by 11. Now Caruso. Here's the pass to Williams. From 13. Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
Really feels like they're in control. They've got a big lead with time dwindling.
And this is where you really want to be mindful. No turnovers, no sloppy play.
Now a timeout called by Atlanta. There's a minute 12 left to play in the fourth. A big group substitution here for Oklahoma City. Isaiah Hartenstein's checked in for Williams. Holmgren comes in for Wiggins. Lou Dort, he's checked in for Wallace. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is subbed in for Caruso. Young inside. SGA covering. Count it!
Now, how about Trae Young from close range? Man, this guy is such an impressive all-around scorer.
Both sides are simply waiting for the clock to make it official. This is going to end up in the books as a nice win for the Thunder.
They had more assists and shot the ball more efficiently. Those things tend to go hand in hand.
That's so true. Without a doubt, their ball movement was essential to winning this game.
And they'll chalk this up as their 3rd win of the year.
Always good to start a season series off with a W. They showed tonight they take this team seriously, and the next 2 matchups between these two should be fun.
And as it was happening, as it was building, you knew this was a monster game for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Well, what a highlight reel he put together, playing his game and contributing in a big way.
finishing the game strong. This is how you shut the door on any hopes of a comeback.
Yeah, any thought of losing this game has been put to bed.
And Young isn't just a scorer. He also takes pleasure in creating opportunities for others.
And so Oklahoma City takes this one, and by a big margin. Even early on in this game, they appeared happy to be playing at home.
And it makes a huge difference. Once they started to get into a groove, you never really felt like they wouldn't come out on top.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. With Tim Legler, Allie LaForce, and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson. As always, we appreciate you tuning in tonight. And let's reveal our player of the game, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.